Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. In a previous video, I showed you how to take your handwritten recipes and turn them into sublimation prints that we can re-gift for the holidays. These make perfect Christmas gifts, Mother's Day gifts, Father's Day gifts, just new home buying. This is the perfect gift for anyone. Have a family heirloom recipe you want, just turn it into a sublimation print and then we can sublimate on the wood. Now, this right here is absolutely gorgeous. I love the look of it. However, there are other ways that we can take our handwritten recipes and turn them into other things, like laser engraved recipe boards. This is not the same recipe, but this is engraved on there. So if you have a laser engraver, you can do things like this and also things like this. This is laser engraved. So it has a completely different look to it, but all the same. So if you're a Cricut crafter or a sublimation crafter, this can be for you. If you have a laser engraver, this one's for you. Today, I'm going to show you how to take my handwritten recipe, the one I used for the previous video, and I'm going to turn it into a laser engraved file on the Glowforge. This video is going to be super easy. The Glowforge has made it super easy for us. All we need to do is take our handwritten recipe. I will show you the rest of the steps here in a minute. But before I get to that, let's talk about how nice and amazing my recipe looks like. That's because I actually wrote it out 5 minutes ago. So it was like just fresh off the presses. If we're talking about heirloom recipes, the ones that have been around for many years, our great-grandmas, great-great-great-grandmas have written them a long time ago. The quality of the recipe, I'm sure, is not that amazing. So the option that I always tell people is the very first thing you need to do is follow the video steps of this process. If you don't get a clean looking engraved, what then I suggest doing is taking just another sheet of paper, putting it over the top of your original recipe and tracing it. That way we can preserve the way the original handwriting looks like, but then you'll get a cleaner engraved or sublimation print. Now, if it's really corroded, I have gotten recipes where the pieces of paper are brown and very hard to read, and it's just in ballpoint pen, super hard to read. If it is so hard for you to read, the next step to that is if you have an iPad, you can download a Lightroom app, which essentially will just be this, but your entire screen of the iPad would light up. This is an actual light pad that I think I got for like 20 bucks off Amazon. But you just press this light, turns on, and then you would put this on top of this, and then you get a better tracing light source. So this is another option. The other thing too that I showed you in the first video, you can click back and watch the beginning of it. All of these videos are super quick and easy. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, in the sublimation video, I show you how I take a free app and get this onto my computer. If you don't have a Glowforge, then this would be the way to go. That being said, if you are seeing that your recipes aren't tracing very well, or you don't want to go to the tracing route, you might want to download that app that I suggest in the other video. Okay, so let's get started. I already have my Glowforge up. So all I'm going to do is take this recipe and I'm going to go put it in the bed of my Glowforge. Okay, so there is my recipe on my Glowforge. The very first thing you want to do is come up over here into the plus sign, and we're going to go into trace. Okay, you are going to see your picture right here. You want to draw a box around what it is that you're tracing, making sure we're not going to cut anything off. When that happens, you're going to get this. Now, I only want this to be an engraved file, so I don't have to do anything. However, if you wanted this to be a cut file, you would click everything that is white, and then it would turn it into a cut file. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I'm going to come over here into place artwork, and here is my recipe right there. Okay, so then what you want to do is now go place this board inside of your Glowforge. Okay, so you will notice that inside my Glowforge, there's no honeycomb tray. The reason for that is these cutting boards are too thick to fit into the Glowforge machine with the honeycomb tray in place. That being said, what I did, I just took the one that we're going to engrave on and another cutting board, stacked them on top of each other just to make them a little bit thicker and place them into my Glowforge. Now what you want to do is come over here into these 3 dots and we're going to set focus. I'm going to set focus right in the middle of my cutting board. Okay, then what you want to do is come over here into material, and I'm just going to click the medium maple plywood. Why? I have no idea. That's just what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go over here into engrave. The settings I like to use for these cutting boards, I'm going to come over here into this caret button, and I'm going to go up to max speed, and I'm going to take the power down to 80 power. Then what you want to do is just taking your recipe and you want to resize this to fit inside of your board. That seems to be okay looking for me. Then all you want to do is press ready. So my Glowforge says it's going to take about 19 minutes, which if you're doing an apples to apples comparison with the sublimation one that I did previously, it took 60 seconds. So the time difference is huge. However, the difference in like an engraved one versus a sublimation one is pretty big. So just know that going forward. All right, all I'm going to do now is go press that magic button, and then I'll see you in about 19 minutes with the finished board. Look at this. Isn't this absolutely amazing? I love the way that it turned out. Now, using a slower speed or more power would have made the engraving darker, but I don't like when they are too deep because then you start to get a lot of charring. And this is done, took 20 minutes. Now, if you don't have a laser engraver, remember, you also can do sublimation. So this is what it looks like with sublimation. Because I used black ink for my recipe, that's why it is all black. Still looks amazing. This sublimation will be on here forever, as well as the laser engraving. It just gives it a different type of look. You know what I mean? This versus this. Which do you prefer? All right, y'all. I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I will see you later.